is the largest rhino farm in South Africa, and it belongs to John Hume, a private game farmer. Hume won his case in court this year. The 8-year ban on rhino horn trade was lifted. But it is more than just the trade. Hume believes an open market will stop poachers from killing off this animal form.
The vacuna in South America was saved in that way. They were almost poached to extinction. They poached them and sent the skins to Italy. Then they learned to shear the vacuna instead of shooting it. They started selling the wool instead of killing the animal. And now there are over 400,000 vacunas in the Andes. In 40 years, they went from 4,000 to over 400,000. A rhino doesn't breed as fast, but we could do the same thing with the rhino.
Increased poaching over the years has led farmers to breed other animals.
Rhinos are not easy to breed, and they're not cheap to breed. The price of rhinos has come down because nobody wants to breed them anymore. And the government won't give me permission to export them to China and the other eastern countries, which are the only countries who want to buy rhinos.
Hume is not only breeding rhinos, he's dehorning them too. It's not a very pleasant sound listening to the horn being cut, but it is a painless experience for the rhino. The rhino is sedated at the moment. Everybody on site is professional. There is a professional vet. There's also somebody from the Department of Environmental Affairs that has to be on site every time a dehorning takes place. Hume spends almost $200,000 a month on protecting his herd of more than 1,500 rhino.
Basically, every year and a half, 2 years, we dehorn them, which protects them from poaching. You have to get a permit before you do that. So if they're not on the permit, you can't dehorn them. And you've got to be sure that your vet and your team are well clued up and they know what they're doing.
I think the only feeling of pain the animal would experience is the visual impact from the dart, probably like a bee sting. None of the other procedures that we're doing does elicit a pain response. We're not trimming any nerves or any blood vessels or anything that can actually hurt. We measure exactly where we're going to cut. The reason why we do that is we don't want to injure the growth plate underneath so that the horn can grow back and that there's no injury to it.
The process takes all of 10 minutes. The vet has just administered an antidote to the rhino, and as you can see, it's up and running again. South Africa is sitting on 30 tons of horn worth $2 billion. Each of these horns could fetch up to $65,000 a kilogram on the black market. Hume has 6 tons in storage, 20% of the country's total stockpile. But restrictions prevent it from being sold internationally. The international ban on rhino horn trade remains in place since 1977. Locally, permits for all sales are required. Sumitra Nydoo, CGTN, in the Northwest Province of South Africa.